demon love song down the hall. White demon.
Conjuring is a horror and a thriller, but it really doesn't feel like that because it doesn't have a lot of the cliche story points and the camera angles that everyone expects. The movie is based on a true story of the Perrin family who moves to this new house and it ends up being haunted, don't they all? And then they call the Warrens, and Lorraine is a medium, and so she's done this before. They're very experienced. They have a lot of success, and so then together they try to get this spirit out of the house. It stars Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, Ron Livingston, and Lily Taylor. And it is directed by James Wan, who has directed Insidious and Saw. The directing was really spot on. I mean, it did not feel cliche. As soon as you thought that maybe there'd be a camera angle or a jump, one would switch the camera angle and you weren't expecting it, and it kept you on your feet and it made you really intrigued. It let you get really into the characters as well. It helped the story get along. What else did I like about the directing? The directing was different. It was how a horror film should be directed. The film isn't cliche, but it is based on a true story, so if you read about it, you know what happens, you know the outcome, which kind of for me was like, oh, I know how it ends. And so that was just my, like, crap. It wasn't a typical horror film. It wasn't one of those ones that is just there to be there. This one had a story, it had a great plot, and the characters and the acting was completely believable. So all together, it made this film that, yeah, it's scary and it's a horror film, but it's also a solid film. You really got into the fear that they had. With a lot of the shots, only the kids could see what was going on, and with the directing, he didn't show the audience what they could see, and so it left us on our feet, and it added to the overall experience. Vera Farmiga was incredible. Her character Lorraine had a lot of internal struggles. She successfully portrayed that she's in like she's in her mind while she's also still in the present. It came full circle at the end, which is what I always look for in a film. Did the characters get what they wanted? Was everything achieved? And it was, and a lot of horror films don't have that. It was creepy. When you did see a ghost or a demon or whatever they're called, it wasn't a cheap jump. If you saw something, you saw something, and it was really creepy. I highly recommend this film. Even if you don't like horror movies, go see it. It's a quality piece of film. I mean, you can cover your eyes. That's what I did.